animation stop motion style video. The first thing I got was this 0.8mm wire and 1.6mm wire. I wanted to get two different sizes so that I could work with both and see which one would be better. I got some wire cutters. I also got some masking tape to go around the wire. And then I got some clay, and last of all, I got some glue. I was debating on what kind of glue to get, but I ended up getting this, and I also think I'm gonna get some hot glue later. I also ordered some clay tools, but I have my Cricut cutting knife. This is very, very handy, along with just a regular box cutter. I'm excited for the rest of my materials to get in tomorrow, because tomorrow after work, I work only in the morning, I'm going to get to work on my set. So here I am basically making a sketch of the wire armature. I ended up realizing that because I'm making a mermaid, I don't really need legs. So I ended up modifying this a little bit to have just one tail wire, if that makes sense. So in this part, I'm going ahead and taking out the wire and making the wire skeleton for my puppet. I was trying to use the wire cutters to twist it, but I ended up just using my hands. I cut a little piece for the tail, and I realized that because of the wire armature being made for a human in my sketch, I had to kind of adjust it to be for a mermaid. I could have definitely done this a little bit better. I'm now going in with masking tape to kind of create a base for my mermaid. I used it to create a little head and little skeletons. This is typically where people use the epoxy putty, but I didn't have any at the time, so I decided to use masking tape. Putty would have been a lot better. I'm creating her torso here and her chest area. There will be a giant cut in just a few seconds where I had ended up creating her whole body and also putting clay on top of it. I had all the footage, but I ended up losing it, so this is what we have to work with. What I've got so far, I've got her face and her body for the most part. I know what to do with the arms. But I am planning on making some hair out of this like black plastic. And then I'm gonna try to find some like shiny paper. I feel like I must have some somewhere. Some shininess, and then add it to it so it's like iridescent. So yeah. Going in with some gouache paint, I got a beige color and just painted her entire body. The gouache went on nicely. I should have gotten like actual air dry clay because this clay was children's clay. I couldn't really mold it with water. Like whatever I shaped with my fingers was what I got. When I do this again, I will go in with actual air dry clay and try to make some clothes next time for my character. I'm going in painting. I found some references for what I wanted to do for her body, but because this puppet was so small, I ended up just gluing beads on her. Here I'm cutting some fabric. This is an old dress that I had from my college years, and I created some tails. I love the color of this dress, and it looks very like seaweed-like. The fabric texture is very, how do you say it, like stringy kind of, so it looked kind of torn and worn. It reminded me of a betta fish, and so I thought this would be a cool addition for her tail. Putting on some super glue to attach this fabric down to her tail area. The tail area actually worked very nicely. I wish I had made a better wire skeleton for this part because it was kind of hard to move the tail at all, actually, because it was entirely covered in masking tape. I put some super glue on the very tip of her tail to kind of twist it and create like a straight line throughout it, because if not, it was going in like a 90-degree direction out and it looked funky. I'm adding some more scale detail with those little beads. I don't know if they're beads, but they're like this plasticky thing. Here I'm making her hair. I braided the black parts of the dress from the scraps, and then I also used like old bracelets that I had that had these braided parts plus like what looked like bells to make her hair. So currently what I'm doing is I took a bunch of different snapshots of each different frame. So this is one that I am currently editing of like the water moving as an opening scene to kind of show the environment that we're in. Each clip that was inserted is a photo, so they automatically enter into iMovie as a 4-second long video. That is far too long to create that frame by frame kind of look that we need to make a cohesive movie. So I'm narrowing it all down to 0.3 seconds. I feel like there definitely has to be an easier way to do this, but I don't know of it yet. So I'm gonna do some research and figure that out. I heard I need to honestly do more research because I feel like my knowledge of movie editing and video editing is limited only to iMovie. So I need to do some more research on what kind of programs I can use to make this more smooth. Here I have a little change of the crab like trying to enter the home for the first time. I'm trying to separate these videos into like opening scenes, ending scenes, and the main thing. But I got distracted last night, so I think I'm gonna have to reshoot this. So far what I have is this. I need to add some more things too.